everybody, my name is Rebecca Ellis, or Becky, and I am the facilitator of the Urban Permaculture module as part of the Women's Permaculture Design course. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to myself, and I'm also going to introduce you to the module, including our learning objectives. But before I get started with that, I would like to acknowledge that I am on the traditional territory of the Lenape people, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe. I stand in solidarity with Indigenous people past and present, and I'm committed to the project of decolonization. So hey, my name is Becky. I am a urban permaculture practitioner and educator in London, Ontario, Canada. I'm currently doing my PhD in geography at Western University, and my PhD focuses on the relationship between bees and people in cities. Basically, I'm really interested in how to create bee-friendly cities in which people consider themselves less lawn people and more pollinator people. I conduct workshops and presentations in my city, and I'm a participant in several projects, including Friends of Urban Agriculture, the London Urban Beekeepers Collective, the London Community Gardens Advisory Group, the Squeaky Wheels Bicycle Collective, London Cycle Link, and the London Food Cooperative. I've been an activist for feminist and anti-racist issues in my city for over a decade, and I'm deeply committed to bringing social justice to permaculture. In 2010, I had the opportunity to do a permaculture design course with Starhawk in California. Her permaculture design course is called Earth Activist Training, and it was an amazing experience for me and completely changed my life. At the same time, I was doing my master's in anthropology at Western University and focusing on the relationship between urban gentrification, something I'll get into in this module, and community gardening. So it all kind of connected together, and after I finished my master's, I spent some time working in the community. I worked for the local library, but I also did a lot of community projects where I was trying to bring permaculture to different people in my community. For 2 years, I ran a children's gardening program called Sprouts, which was a lot of fun and a really amazing project to be involved in, before returning to university for my PhD. When I first did my permaculture design course, I was a single mom. I was actually homeschooling my children, and yes, I was also working on my master's at the same time, which was a very busy time in my life. And I rented an apartment in a housing cooperative. A couple years later, I was renting an apartment, an upstairs apartment in a house, and I had absolutely no access to common land. So the first few years after doing my permaculture design course, I couldn't really figure out where I fit in permaculture, because even though Starhawk had focused a lot on activism, on permaculture in cities, a lot of the literature I was coming across when it came to permaculture was focusing on how to do permaculture when you own land, and particularly when you own what seemed to be very large tracts of land. I didn't own any land. I didn't own my house. I had sometimes people in the co-op, people who were kind of enthusiastic about it, and then I also had landlords that weren't going to let me do very much at all. So that's why I've always focused on doing collective projects in public or publicly accessible spaces. The first spaces I had to work in were actually community gardens with a lot of rules. Rules I'm hoping to kind of break down a little bit in my role on the advisory committee of the community gardens in London now. But there were a lot of rules about what could and couldn't be done. I had to do a lot of breaking rules. There were rules about not being able to plant perennials. There were rules that at first, when I first got a community garden, they just plowed the whole garden every single year, and we kind of pushed back against that. So I've always been really passionate about how permaculture can be applied to common spaces. And so the urban commoning that happens with permaculture projects is very important to me, and it's part of my focus in this module. So the learning objectives for this module are that you understand some of the practices of urban permaculture, You understand how to take some concepts in permaculture such as zones and sectors and apply it to an urban setting. You understand the obstacles and benefits that come with urban permaculture and can pretty clearly explain them to other people. You understand the importance of social justice in permaculture projects, including in your own backyard. And you understand some of the exciting potential of collective permaculture projects in public or publicly accessible spaces. And hopefully you'll be able to name a few of those projects. So I hope you enjoy this module. And I'm really excited for what you might learn or get out of it, or what you might yourself know and be able to share with me. You can always contact me via email, and I will return your email as quickly as I can. And you can even contact me about things that aren't directly related to permaculture. Because social justice in cities is one of my passions, I'm very happy to talk to you about those issues. And also, of course, through my PhD on bees. If you have any questions about bees not related to urban permaculture, feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk about them. Thanks.